today. From Lumen Field in Seattle, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Drew Lock and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Trey Lance and the San Francisco 49ers.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s.
Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Lock. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
The numbers on the ground for Jones last week, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 3 plays, all resulting in 3-yard carries to bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. But they also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. Block off of play action. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. This now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. An inside give to Jones. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25.
So here are the Niners now to get their first drive.
They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
And Lance again going to keep it.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now a 1st down carry by Jones.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Here's Locke.
And, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. On play action, Locke.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
They'll start with the option. Oh, Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose.
And the Seahawks have recovered. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
They fake the handoff. Now Locke rolling to his left. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season.
And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them in plus territory. Excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
He'll going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too. Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
To throw, it's Lance.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Again, it's Jones. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Up the middle, Jones.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 89 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
This offense, Charles, well, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, but something like 4 of the last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll try again with Jones. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Aaron Jones,
as the first half is winding down.
And the Seahawks would extend their lead here just before halftime. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time, they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. That time, a 9-play drive. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Lance,
man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that one will be no good. He never had it online. It's well wide to the left. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin with red on red, NFC West versus AFC West, as Arizona pays a visit to Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs who are out in front as they move towards halftime. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. From there, we fly east to Philly to check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they trail the visiting Cowboys at halftime. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. Cooper Kupp, a touchdown catch in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Throwing on first down is Lance.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
From the gun, it's Lance. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
These two teams, they met up in Seattle earlier in the year with the Seahawks coming away victorious. So a win here in Seattle, tough as that may be, would give them the season sweep. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And that is incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and that will keep the deficit at 20.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now to the air, Locke. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And Hill will opt for the touchback. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now here comes Ayuk on the jet sweep. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They'll go option to the short side. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
And this one is incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Seahawks with a 1st and 10. Locke gets ready to go.
At their own 22.
And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones.
And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for Seattle. 46 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Jones.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Aaron Jones.
His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the 4th quarter to grow that lead.
But I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it out this late in the blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25.
The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. On 1st down, Lance
being chased out left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Lance looking to throw it.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Lance now on 1st down.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
They'll try and run some clock now with Jones.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They look to throw. It's Locke. Dancing to his left. And he goes out right around the 39. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Throw left side complete. That's Holloway. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Hill going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Lance going to try and throw on third down here.
And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll actually throw it with Locke. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 27-yard line.
From the gun, it's Walker.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for the Seahawks, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9.
And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin, along